Hi and welcome to another Hopper device Quickstart guide. Hopper is a modern semicolon and curly brace language. I'll leave a link in the description to where you get it from, and there'll be a playlist at the end about the language and a link to a video to how you quickly get set up to get the development environment set up on your Windows machine. Anyway, back to the device. This is a Pico ePaper 4.2 from Waveshare, an ePaper display. And you can drop a Raspberry Pi Pico into it, or in my case this is a drop-in replacement for a Raspberry Pi Pico, which is the RP2040 Plus, also from Waveshare. It has two features the Pico doesn't have. It has a reset button, and it also has a USB-C socket, not a micro USB socket, both features of which I like. Anyway, there'll be a link in the description to more about this device. Anyway, let's switch to Hopper. So this is the Hopper development environment, all written in Hopper, and there's a debugger. So to set up a device in Hopper, it's usually not very much code. You go to in the Hopper environment, you go to the devices folder, and you find your device by name and you include it, and that's how it works. So it's a device driver, not a display driver, because this device has, devices have specific buttons set up, pin configurations. And yes, it includes a display driver, and then it also sets up the buttons, and I use the same names for the buttons that are on the PCB silk screen. So you just include that, and all these things specific to this device are done for you. And then the same thing is true of a font. You go to the fonts folder and include a font if you wanted to text on the display. I use echo to LCD, which means it takes whatever my IO write statements are sending to the serial port and echoes it to the device, the display device that's on the Hopper, on the microcontroller. At the beginning of drawing, I set the built-in LED on, and at the end I turn it off so we can see something's happening. Anyway, the button delegate is interesting. So we set up a button delegate to point to a little method at the top here, this button ISR, and that'll respond to button drawing events. And I seem to have just lost my video. And I'm recording again. I had a bit of a technical difficulty and lost my video. It's back again. All right, let's have a look at this device. So we build with F7. I've chosen Visual Studio keys. If you don't know what they are, you can look on the menus and you can see what the keys are. Let's launch it into the debugger, and it uploads the hex file to the device, which it's already done. So I'm in the debugger, and then I can Control F5 to run it. Let's have a look at it. So it's doing nothing, because the first thing it does when it runs is it just blanks the screen out to white. So now if we quickly tap that first button, LED goes green to say something's happening. And then once it's finished drawing, the LED should go off. There we go. And the flashing there is the updating of the ePaper. There we go. And then let's see what I've got on the second button. This pixel rendering of all these little characters in the font. That's why this video is a little bit rubbish today, but we'll live with it. There we go. So the second button is the inverse colors. So as you can see from the sample here, like black and white or white and black. Anyway, that's the extent of getting up and running on this device. Pretty simple. And there's graphics commands as well. You can draw lines and rectangles and that sort of thing, fill them. So that's about it to set up this device and get it running in the Hopper environment. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to your feedback.